Today, we're going to be going over the top 5 beginner mistakes in Rogue Company. Just to be clear, I am nowhere near a Rogue Company expert, but I have been playing the game since mid-closed beta, and I've picked up some tips and tricks, and I've seen some things. With all this being said, I have learned the hard way as I was once a noob myself, but even, as I've gotten better, I can look back and see what things I did that just were stupid, and I've also learned some things as I've gotten better. Before we do begin though, I have a Rogue Company Battle Pass giveaway currently. Down in the description there's 3 super easy steps to follow to enter in and gain a chance to win that Battle Pass for absolutely free. I will be picking a winner once it's dropped in game, so be sure to check your messages and hopefully you'll be picked when it gets released. Now let's begin. So, I'm assuming you're here as a new Rogue Company player, and as I've said, these tips are gained through experience, so hopefully you can watch this quick video, gain some knowledge off of me, and get to playing Rogue Company, and really just skip over that huge learning curve. With this first tip, I can almost guarantee that if you're truly a beginner, you're doing this, and that's just playing the game too fast. You're going to need to slow down a little. I've done it. I'm sure you're currently doing it, and most beginners do it, so I can't fault you. But you don't want to be the person that sprints to a flank and gets down to each and every round. You may be like, well, it's worked so far, and that's because score-based matchmaking hasn't kicked in yet. Once you get to winning and get put into games with higher leveled people and higher skilled people, you'll find it much harder to do and can end up getting super frustrated. Now, if you are planning on pushing onto the enemy side of the map, maybe try to have a teammate with you or do it later in the round. Trust me, you're going to want to slow down and you'll find yourself in much more successful situations in game. Next up is going to be using your third-person camera perspective to its full ability. This can be especially hard when you don't really have a background in third-person shooters, just like me, so you'll be learning this as you go and just simply play the game. Let's say you do mainly play first-person shooters. After a few games here on Rogue Company, you'll find that third-person shooters actually have a lot more advantages that you'll need to be utilizing. Just by turning your camera around a wall and, doing this, you can see around corners, catch pushing enemies off guard. The whole time, they have no idea you're there. You're also going to need to know that you're not the only person doing this. Know what corners enemies may be behind and how much of an area they can see. Number 3 on our list is not playing as a teammate, and this mainly just means not going lone wolf. Doing this in a game like Rogue Company can just be a huge recipe for disaster, and this doesn't just apply to going off and doing your own thing. Sometimes something as simple as just sticking with a teammate in a 2v1 situation is beneficial, as that enemy now has to pick and choose who to kill. And the time to kill in this game isn't in their favor, and they're most likely going to be getting shot by 2 people, which means they're dead. Now, I'm not saying you can't go on a lone wolf flank in the late round, especially if you still have 2 or maybe even 3 teammates alive, but sticking to a teammate allows you and that teammate to trade off of each other and have a big advantage against enemies, especially if they're the lone wolf. Moving on, not using your utilities is here, but don't worry. It's only natural as a beginner to just overlook them. New players tend to be like, oh, I can run around the map and shoot people and dodge and use my ability. But they don't really look at utilities. They add a whole level of depth to your character and can really set you over the edge to win games and, situations where you and an enemy are facing off. For example, Trench's APS don't get kills at all, but they can save your life against a Dima, let's say, especially when you really need it to. So, I'd get into the habit of using these utilities intelligently, and this is only going to give you a massive advantage throughout the entire life of Rogue Company. Finally, number 5 is going to be a short one, but it's just playing smartly, and I know this is a vague description, but I'll go a little in depth with just one example. Say you're on demolition and you do a 2 split, where 2 go to the A site and 2 go to B, and you're defending. All 4 enemies may rush your point. Many new players are just going to get into a gunfight and most likely die, as they have a upward battle they need to win in that situation, and it really isn't in their favor. But just stalling a little bit, maybe peeking, getting some shots, going back down, stuff like that lets your teammates come over and flank them from behind and just help, and it's a super smart idea you're going to need to implement into your game if you're going to want to, get out of that beginner's phase and really get to playing. So, maybe watch this video back a time or two, truly get to know each point, and hopefully this video will thrust you over that learning curve much faster than everyone who had to do it the hard way. If you did enjoy, let me know by leaving a like rating and subscribe if you're new or haven't already. Thank you for coming to my video, and hopefully I'll be seeing you in the next one.